And he told me, I can't like it too much because I may have to kill you. That's what he told me. And it was just like, who is this guy?
You got people out here, shoot! Get out of here! The guy with the rifle!
Echo 530, we have a suspect in the El Central College building on someone.
Tow somebody down there to cover that side.
I got fragments coming through.
I'm rolling now.
Okay.
Okay.
You're okay. Now we're ready. First of all, tell me who you are.
I'm Sergeant Larry Gordon, Dallas Police Department.
Let's talk about the night of July 7th, 2016.
It was a typical night for us. It was a protest, and just ironically, it was a national day of protest in response to the Philando Castile shooting, in response to Alton Sterling shooting in Baton Rouge. And that the next day, which July 7th, was a national day of protest. So I was in SWAT at the time, and we're usually tasked with working the protest, but that day we were patrolling, we didn't work the protest.
Up to that point, all the protests had been, and this was a peaceful protest itself.
Yes, it was a peaceful protest.
Get out of the street! Get down!
We got one of our guys down up there. Hey, down!
All SWAT elements to 801 Main Street. All SWAT elements to 801 Main Street.
You hear the officer down call out. I'm going to take you back a little bit. So what do you do?
I started in that direction, code 3. I got about halfway there, and listening to the radio, I'm thinking, when I get out of my car, I'm probably gonna get in a shooting. So what I did, I stopped, put my entry vest on, grabbed my rifle, charged it, and put it around my neck, and drove like that. We were directed to come to headquarters first. And once we got to headquarters, I could hear shooting going on downtown. And I told both lieutenants at the time we had, hey, we need to leave here. We can't be here.
Tell me about the scene when you roll up outside El Centro.
It was surreal. I could see parts of humans that had been shot. I could see a lot of broken glass, squad cars on flat. People, it was just mayhem. It was just mayhem. And I gotta be honest with you, to go in that school was the hardest thing I ever done. It was the hardest, absolute hardest thing I ever done, to think that I'm going to die inside this school. Because I said that to myself. I'm going to die inside this school. And it was just overwhelming, I should say, to push into that school through broken glass, smelling the gunpowder, and it was just a horrible feeling.
So you walk in, you get into the atrium, you're like, oh my God, there's 1,000 threats. What do you do next?
At that point, I think we saw blood trail, and we just started following the blood trail, and we got in the stairwell. And this stairwell is like a kill box. It's gonna follow you where he wants you to be. And once we got to the landing of the stairwell, I could see blood where he had waited there to ambush somebody. So I'm seeing all the blood that he was bleeding. So he stood there a while to ambush us or ambush officers. At that point, I see Canetti, and we make eye contact, and we do a signal. We have hand signals because they were posted looking very intently at an area. It wasn't safe. Once I married up with Canetti and those guys, I started talking to the suspect, and basically I just wanted to slow everything down.
I just want to talk to you, Ed. Can you talk to me for a second? What's going on today, man?
He was really upset about the shootings. I teach a lot of classes on de-escalation, so I knew the stats on the shootings when you break them down by race. And I told him that most people in this country that are shot are white males. He didn't believe me.
I think you have a a valid point. But listen to me, X, can you hear me? I can't hear your point because I'm too worried about being shot.
He wanted all of us to transition tonight. And I said, what do you mean transition? He said, transition from this life to the next. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, he wants us to die. So I knew I had to get the emotionality down to get the rationality up. And while I was talking to him, I have a habit of saying, bro. He wanted us to come back there and shoot it out with him. I said, we can't do that, bro.
Okay, I won't call you bro. I apologize.
Jeremy, let me find some more and I'll get these scheduled.
Yeah, just hang. You said we're killing your black brothers, right? You know I'm black? Did you know I'm black? I'm black, bro. I just went to college.
Then he laughed. And I did that on purpose. And because I want to get the emotionality down. And if I heard him laugh, I can get that emotionality down and that rationality will go up. So that's what I was basically trying to do.
Did you think he was going to give up?
Initially, at first, once he wasn't shooting anymore, I'm like, well, maybe he'll give up. But after talking to him, I asked him just to put the rifle down. I told him, hey, CNN is outside. I'll let you talk to him. I said, you have valid points. And he said, I've said enough with this rifle. So I'm like, okay. So he's not going to give up.
You know what's going to happen, X? You know what's going to happen if you kill yourself? You know what's going to happen? What? The media is going to tell their own story. I don't care. My people will know what I've done. But X, we want to know. Can we find out? If you not see the proof, you fighting. That's what I'm doing. If I was a soldier and I was killing Iraqis, y'all would be praising me as a hero. And now that I killed y'all as a real terrorist, now what? I'm mentally insane. But is it going to be looked at that way, X? I don't care how people know. But I'm saying, you're doing this for black people, right? Yeah. How is black people going to look at it? There are many of us who feel the way I do. I understand that. I understand that. But maybe if you tell your story on some type of news channel, the people who don't feel you will feel you. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Kwame, there's been too many people talking. Rest in peace to those by the way. The talking is over. It's time for a revolution, brother.
I think he was angry and he felt powerless, I think. And that's why I think he took the rifle and took it upon himself to attack us, because he felt powerless and he wanted to die to show, because he says he's doing this for his people. And that's what I was saying. And I think the hook that I had with him was that I was an African-American male, because he told me, he asked me, if you're my brother, you should turn your weapon on those next to you.
If you are my brother, turn your weapon on those behind you. You know what? Nah. Play the long game. Play the long game. Stay on your team. About a year later, when you're out the beer, kill them all. Kill them all at the funeral. Kill them all at the wake.
I was blown away. I was blown away by that, because we all looked at each other. We just looked at each other like, who is this guy? Who is he? I heard an actress say one time that she falls in love a little bit with all her co-stars when she's doing movies. And it's kind of the same way. When you're negotiating with somebody, you kind of have to start to like them, because I'm not that good of an actor. So you have to kind of like them a little bit, just so you can have empathetic responses, so you can talk to them, talk about their families, talk about their likes and dislikes, and you talk about how you're going to try to help them. Because I'm not a clinician, but I don't think he was mentally ill. He was very lucid. He was very determined, very charismatic. It's like a nice guy.
I just want to know, X, we talking, having a good conversation right here. Think we're having a pretty good conversation? Yeah, better, I bet. A guy as smart as you probably had a good few conversations. Say it again. You can. You can, X.
Nah, this needs to be done. This is my sacrifice for the people.
How does the conversation turn to, okay, we're going to have to do something else? This guy's not coming out.
We were afraid that he was going to charge us, so we had to think of something to do. And in SWAT, you just try to think, how can we solve this problem? And the only thing we could think of, a couple guys came up with, matter of fact, Marshall Milligan was the first guy I've heard say something about it, putting a device on the robot. And how I set it up is I was telling him we had problems with the robots because we have robots sitting in the hallway and we're watching the monitor so we'll know when he's coming. And I told him, hey, and I asked him, can I give him a phone on the robot? Because I knew I was going to have to set it up.
What do you say?
He said, sure. Yeah, send me the phone back here. It's like, okay.
So walk me through just the robot. What happened then?
Seemed like it took forever to get the robot put together. He kept asking for it. Where's the robot? Where's the phone? Like, I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. And once we got it up and running, I asked him an open-ended question so he couldn't say yes or no to it. So he had to speak and expound on that question I asked him. So while he was speaking, I got the shield and I had to cross the hallway. So I got across the hallway, got in the stairwell. Stairwell was concrete, so we thought we was pretty safe. We went down 1/2 flight and I can hear the robot coming past the door, making that winding sound. And I knew the robot. Meanwhile, he's asking me, where did I go? He's calling my name. He said, where'd you go? Once the robot got there, we did the countdown on the radio. And then the detonation went off. When the boom happened, we rushed back up to the stairs and I heard gunfire. He started shooting again. I'm thinking, man, it didn't work. It didn't work. And we're just holding our position and see if he's going to come out shooting again. But it blew the other wall out. And the other SWAT guys, when they pushed back up, that wall was gone. Now they could see him and they saw him. And they said, okay, we got the eyes on him. I'm like, great. This is just about to end.
What did that scene look like?
It was just destroyed. That floor where he was just destroyed. The tile, the debris, the glass. It's just what you think a bomb would do. And the robot was standing there. It was missing a hand, but it was still standing.
Did you go look at him?
Yes, I did. I had to.
Tell me about that.
I had to see who this person was that I've been talking to for 4 hours. That had me so afraid for 4 hours.
Time doesn't exist.
It exists for me, X. It exists for me.
I love that sound. Y'all want to get some?
I told you, X, I got control over here. I'm trying to make you understand. I got control.
I know that sound.
X, I'm not you, man. I hadn't you in 45 minutes. Not you yet.
Once I looked at him, I was thinking that this is just a guy. This is not a monster. This is just a man. It's just a guy, you know, who has a family, probably has a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. In my mind, this guy was a person to be feared for 4 hours, but now he's just a guy.
What do you think the lesson learned from that night is?
I think we need to back up a little bit and look at our actions and everything we're doing, how it affects the country, and act accordingly. Because sometimes we can lose sight of that. We can be jaded as law enforcement. So I just think we need to just be mindful of that.